We got people that came here to speak and came here to love on y'all and encourage you as well and give you some practical steps. So listen, let me bring my next sister to the stage. Can I do that with y'all? Can I bring my next sister to the stage? Listen, we had one conversation and instantly I was like, we're friends. We're like best friends. Okay. And she was like, sure. Like, okay, cool. And I'm not Drake. I be telling people I'm not Drake. I am Team New Friends. I am 42 years young and I am here to make friends unapologetically as an adult Black woman, a healed adult Black woman who can be in relationship and in friendship with other adult Black women and support them and adjust their crown and tell them how great they are, give them a platform to be able to share their message without trying to compete, without trying to be jealous, without trying to covet, just saying, sis, rise up because we're friends. Because we are friends. So if y'all my new friends, just put in the chat, hey friend, hey sis, because listen, I'm here for it all. I am here for it all. Okay, send me a friend request. As a matter of fact, let's make it official. Let's make it Facebook official. Yes. So let me introduce to you Miss Stacy S. Crawley is a vivacious and energetic motivational speaker, empowerment coach, best-selling author, and a mom of 4 beautiful girls, including a set of twins. Listen, Auntie Ministry, step up, okay? She is adamant about impacting and transforming the lives of purpose-driven women all around the world by telling her story and inspiring them to turn their pain into power, upgrade their mindset, ignite their confidence, and boldly become the women God created them to be. She equips her clients and audiences alike with motivational tips, tools, and actionable strategies to ensure they take immediate steps toward living the life they love of joy, abundance, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and purpose. She's been featured in Yahoo Finance, WP Minds, the Local Moms Network, Voyage Dallas Magazine, Canvas Rebel Magazine, and has been listed as one of 2022's top empowerment coaches. She is the founder of Ignite Her Purpose, LLC. Let me bring my sis to the stage. Hey, sis.
Hello.
Listen, I am so excited for you to be here on today. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, so I'm going to turn the stage over to you, and the floor is yours.
All right. So, praise God. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Let me just first give my flowers to my new friend, Miss Ayana. I love you. I appreciate you, sis, and all that you're doing. I tell you that all the time. So thank you so much for being here. And I thank you guys for being here, for taking the time to just invest in yourself and to move in a different way, a different way that God is leading you, because you're not here by accident. Okay. You're here for a purpose and a reason. All right. So listen, I want to ask you guys a question before I get started. I want to ask, how many of you, when you were getting up this morning and getting yourselves ready, I know some of us are moms, we're getting ready, getting things going, lunch, whatever. How many of you looked in the mirror today? How many of you guys took a time to look in the mirror today? How many of you, when you took the look in the mirror, how many of you guys, what did you say to yourself? I want to know what comes to mind when you say things to yourself. Are you speaking things over yourself that are breathing life into yourself? Are you speaking things that are speaking life over your circumstances? Are you speaking life over things that you want, things that you desire? Or are you speaking negative thoughts? Are you harnessing things that people have said to you over the years, the lies that people have said to you that you have carried forward? Is that what you see in your mirror? Are you dealing with low self-confidence, low self-esteem? Are those things showing up each day that you look in your mirror? Listen, we 70,000 thoughts every single day of our lives. Can you believe that? 70,000 thoughts. And a lot of them, majority of them, are negative thoughts. But guess what, my beautiful queens on this platform, you don't have to take those thoughts and grab hold of them. You can let them continue to pass. All right. So let me give you guys a story. If you guys will let me tell you guys my story. I have gone through a lot in my life, and this is just going to be a synopsis, okay? So listen, I'm going to take you guys back to 1995. I want you guys to go back with me, come with me. Let's travel back in time. So 1995, and let me just preface this by saying I have a huge family. All right. So my grandmother has gone on to glory, but my grandmother had 9 kids. So my mom is one of 9. I'm one of 14 grandkids. And at this point, it's probably a host of 30 plus great grandkids. And when we were younger, so I go back 1995, when we were younger, we spent the summers at my grandmother's house. We played vacation Bible school. We were skipping up and down the street. We were playing tag, freeze tag. And I know you guys remember those games, okay? My cousin and I, we didn't have enough. Sometimes I wouldn't bring my skates over. So we would skate up and down the street with one skate on. Listen, we had a ball, guys, okay? There would be summers every Monday. My Aunt Marianne would come through the alleyway near my grandmother's house in her burgundy Dodge Caravan. And every time Aunt Marianne came over, we knew that we were going to go somewhere. We didn't have no clue where we were going, but we knew we were getting out the house and we were going to have a good time. So we would go to either my grandmother's favorite spot, which was the thrift store. We would go to, I think it was like Kmart. And then somehow we would end up at Shoney's or Bob's Big Boys. And I know, let me know if you guys know any of those or remember any of those. But we always ended up in those places and we loved every bit of it. Now, I loved the summers with my cousins and I had a great time. But this particular summer, for some reason, I became public enemy number 1. My cousins decided, I don't know, out of boredom, but they decided that I was going to be the one that they were going to pick on. And sadly enough, they didn't pick on anyone else. But the things that I heard constantly through that summer, you're ugly, you're fat, you'll never have a boyfriend. Now I'm 10 years old. What do I know about that at that time, right? But this is what I'm hearing. Your mom found you behind a trash can. We don't know who you are. You talk like a white girl, right? These are things that I heard constantly. We don't accept you. We don't want you here with us. We don't get you, right? You know, and that went on constantly throughout the summer. And I suffered in silence. I didn't tell my grandmother what I was going through. I didn't tell my mom what I was going through. And I smiled through it, even though I felt horrible inside. Now, these are people that I loved, people that I held in high regard, my cousins, right? I'm an only child. So these were, in fact, my brothers and sisters to me. So one particular day, my mom picked me up. And my mom went in her room when we got home. And I went into the bathroom, into my mirror. And I looked in my mirror and I put my arm up. You know, I'm looking around and everything. I looked at my back, or at least on the side. And I said, oh my gosh, maybe they're right. Maybe I am fat. Maybe I am ugly. Maybe they'll never accept me. I don't talk like them. I don't act like them. What's going to happen here? At that moment, I felt so low that I felt in my mind like maybe if I wasn't here anymore at 10, guys, maybe if I wasn't here anymore, maybe they wouldn't pick on me. Maybe they will finally have understood that I was a part of their group. But in that moment, I had to tell myself that at 10, that there's something greater for me. And I know it sounds crazy, y'all, but God had to lead me out of that space. So interesting enough, even though all of this happened, it continued on through high school. I still suffered in silence. I didn't tell anyone, but I became a mom for the first time. And little did I know that little girl inside of me came right along with me. I felt like as a mom, I wasn't good enough. I felt like I literally took that same energy that I was given or that was projected onto me from my cousins. I took that same energy in becoming a mom. And y'all, when I tell y'all I suffered the worst postpartum depression ever, and this was with my first daughter, and I felt like, is everything that I'm doing, I'm giving this little girl 150% of myself, but because of what I dealt with in my past, I'm not good enough. I stood in my mirror every day and said, this little girl needs someone else because I can't do it for her. I can't give her what she needs because I'm not good enough. Not good enough, not good enough because of what I heard. I'll never be accepted. She'll never love me. I wasn't good enough. I became a mom again, and it got better. But then I took that same energy into a previous relationship. Wow. I was in a relationship where I didn't feel good enough. I was in a relationship where I wasn't safe emotionally, verbally, and or physically at times. The little girl followed me. And in my mirror, I told her she wasn't good enough. So guys, I was sitting on my sofa, and this was right after my divorce was final. Interesting, right? I became a mom, a single mom of 4 at this point. So I went from the child to the mom to the relationship to now divorce and having to raise my children by myself as a single mom. Whew. Because what? I had a failed marriage because I wasn't good enough. So you can imagine my self-esteem, my self-confidence, my self-love, my self-care, all of those things were in the dumps, right? So it had gotten worse. It had gotten worse. I was so depressed that I also thought about yet again, maybe if I wasn't here. Oh, God. But I'm going to tell you guys, one day I was sitting on the sofa after my kids had went to sleep. And I was sitting there and I was crying and I was crying. I was like, God, what's going on? How did I get here? What do I do? I don't understand. I'm not good enough. And I heard his voice clearly say to me, but my daughter, why can't you see yourself the way that I see you? Whew, girl. Listen, y'all, and in that moment, as I heard God's voice so clearly, there was a sense of joy that came over my heart. There was a sense of peace that came over my heart, knowing that regardless of what I was going through, God was still in the midst of it and that he was there because he created me for a purpose. And even though the obstacles that I was dealing with in that moment, the little girl in me that hadn't healed yet, she was going to heal. She was going to get her breakthrough because God said, I want you to see yourself the way that I see you. I want you to look in your mirror and take everything out that you've learned thus far and understand that I see you as beautifully and wonderfully made. So guys, I stand before you today. Listen, woo, child, feeling blessed. You hear me? Feeling blessed to be able to even be in front of you guys today with this smile on my face to say, but God. To say that God took me from depression, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, no self-love, no self-care, to abundance, to feeling absolutely amazing when I wake up every single day because I know that it's a gift from him to be here. To know that everything that I went through happened to me, right? But it wasn't for me, it's for someone else. I'm jumping ahead, but I want you to know that there's something in you that you have to birth and that God is moving on in the inside of you. He's activating that thing on the inside of you. If that little girl is in you and she's trying to move, allow God to move so that she could heal, so that you could be what he's called you to be. Let me get back to my speech. I had to put that out there for someone. I want you guys to know that when I stand in my mirror today, every single day, I know that I'm amazing, right? It's not to be cocky. It's not to be vain. It's to know that I look at myself the way that God sees me now. No matter who comes my way, who tries to break me down, who tries to, do whatever they do, God's got me. And I know that. And I want to give you guys 3 tips that has helped me to really get to this place of peace. All right. So number 1, I'm going to tell you guys have amazing superpowers. I hope you know that. I hope you know that there is so much power lying inside of you. You got to allow it to move, allow God to move on your behalf. All right. So number 1, this is what I'm going to tell you: to get still, acknowledge what's going on, and trust God. Get still. I want you guys to put in the chat, get still. A lot of times we're moving along, moving, and we don't take time to just sit and to meditate and to understand what is it that God wants us to do, where he wants us to go. A lot of times we don't sit and acknowledge where we are and why we are where we are. And a lot of times we don't trust God. We say we do, but where is our faith? He asks us to have faith the size of a mustard seed and to trust him, even when things look bleak, even when your reality doesn't match the vision that you have for your life. Why? Because we decide how we want our life to be, right? But God is the ultimate. He's the ultimate architect, right? He has the blueprint. So I need you guys to get still. I need you to take some time to just be in your word, to pray, to meditate. There's so many things moving around us, and sometimes we're on autopilot. But I need you to get still. I need you to acknowledge what's going on around you. I need you to pray, and I need you to ask God to guide you, and I need you to trust him fully. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, I need you to embrace the pain. Listen, through your mess is your message, right? There is resilience on the other side of your pain. And I know it doesn't feel good what you might be going through, but listen, there is resilience, happiness, joy on the other side of your pain. So you have to feel the feels, feel everything that you have dealt with, feel it, and then release it to God. So I want you to embrace the pain and rewrite the narrative. So there are people in your life that have told you things about yourself, that have done things to you, that have made you feel a certain way, or things that you've done to yourself. Forgive those people, forgive yourself, and release it so you can step into your authentic power. That's number 2. And number 3, I want you to be intentional about falling in love with yourself. Now, I want you to type in the chat, love yourself first. Love yourself first. Okay? So listen, we're always doing things for other people, right? We're always doing things for other people. We give people 155% of ourselves. And what do we get left with? The 2%. And I know the math ain't math, and don't worry about that. But you get my point, is that we leave so much less on the table for ourselves. We don't fill our cups. So we're operating on empty. How do you operate and pour in and to pour into other people and to walk in your purpose when you aren't pouring into yourself? During this time when I was going through everything that I was going through and God was working on me, when I was doing the work, the deep work, I had to rediscover who I was. I took myself on dates. I figured out what I liked to do. I figured out who I was, what was important to me, what was going to make me feel good about me. Because all roads lead back to me. I have to love me first. I can't expect nobody else to love me if I don't love me first. So I need you guys to love on yourselves. I need you to get in the mirror every day and to affirm yourself and to know just how amazing you truly are. Okay? So listen, if you're struggling, if you can relate to my story, if you're struggling with seeing yourself the way that God sees you, if you're struggling with loving yourself and being the most authentic self that you can be, if you're struggling with low self-esteem, low self-confidence, if you're struggling with healing the little girl inside of you, you're struggling with turning your pain into power and stepping boldly into your purpose, I want to challenge you today to realize just how beautiful you are. Be careful what you're telling the woman in your mirror. Being gentle and kind to her because she needs you. I want you to understand that no matter what you face, no matter what obstacles you face, no matter what comes your way, God is with you. And that with him, you are unstoppable. You hear me? Understand that you are fierce, you are strong, and you are destined for greatness. And the next time you get up, whether you go later today or whenever you go and you look in your mirror, I want you guys to shout to the rooftop, I am beautiful. I am phenomenal. I am fabulous. And I deserve nothing less than God's best for me. Thank you so very much. I have a self-love breakthrough challenge coming up, a 3-day self-love breakthrough challenge coming up. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. I want you guys to come and join me on this challenge. Okay? If you're dealing with issues and you're dealing with loving yourself, you need to be in that challenge. I thank you all so much for your time today. And I pray that you guys have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you so much.
Listen, I told y'all was going to get blessed on today. One of the things that I ask for the women to do is, and we assess this, are you in a place where you can be vulnerable? And are you in a place where you can be transparent? Because we know that when we're transparent, transformation happens, because then we're able to see ourselves in each other's story, right? So I want y'all to give it up for Stacy, blow it up in the chat, let her know how she has impacted your life, because I promise you, we screenshotting all of this. She gonna get all the comments, okay? We gonna use all of this, right? And, we've been through those, I call them valley moments. So these are the moments where we have the dips in our story. And sometimes we discredit the valley. And what happens that we don't recognize is in the valley, there's community. It's where we live. It's where we do life. It's where we love people. And so sometimes we discredit the valley. We don't think that the valley has value. But not only does the valley have value, it also has vision of who you're supposed to become. But that's where you get your character development. That's where you get to mature. Because here's the thing. We always talk about trying to get to the mountaintop. And God revealed this to me. He said, but what's at the mountaintop? He said, you can't even breathe properly at the mountaintop. The air is super thin. And so there are things that you need to learn along the way that you can only learn by starting in the valley and walking up to the mountaintop. Sometimes we just want to jump from mountaintop to mountaintop, right? And we can experience those moments because he says it in his word, glory to glory. But we can't really truly appreciate the glory to glory moments, the mountain to mountaintop moments, if we haven't yet honored all that we needed to gather in the valley. In the valley, there's tools. In the valleys, there's resources. In the valley, there's community. In the valley, there's sisterhood. In the valley, there's truth. In the valley, there's truth and love. In the valley, there's all the things that we need. And you heard just now Stacy's valley moment. But then you saw how it equipped her to be on her mountaintop where she is now. Never discredit your valley moments because they are rich. They are rich in nutrients for your soul. Come on, Jesus. Won't he do it? Yeah, I tell you what. That's why we friends. That's why we friends. You see? That's why we friends. So yes, ma'am, I thank you so very much, Stacy. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for your continued support of Warrior Womanhood. I know you have blessed these women on today. We've already gotten the one that I already know. We are only 1, 2, 3 speakers in, and I know we have already reached the one.
Amen.
Amen, somebody. So thank you so very much, sis.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate you all.